Hey guys, so today I just wanted to give y'all like a little glimpse of my adoption story and how I got to adoption. Um, so when I initially found out that I was pregnant with Tennessee, I wasn't in a very good like place in my life. Like I was dancing still, I was trying to make ends meet, like I was barely making it for just Zanaya and she was still a baby. At that time she wasn't walking, I was still learning how to be a mom at that point. um so I already knew like off rip that I wasn't going to be able to take care of another child, at least not right then and there. Like I was barely making it. I didn't have a stable home. I was bouncing around all over the place. Like, it was just I wasn't stable. And so I was like, okay, well, like I'm not gonna have an abortion, so adoption is the only other like option. So I went on Google and I searched up like adoption agencies, and I seen that like there was none in El Paso, Texas. There was some like going out of El Paso, like San Antonio, Dallas, stuff like that. But I was just like, no, like I don't want to have an adoption in Texas. So at the time that I was like searching for an adoption agency, my biological dad, offered to keep her. But given the relationship that I had with him, I just wasn't comfortable. Like, our relationship is up and down, and I just wasn't comfortable doing that. And so I continued my search. I pretty much hid my entire pregnancy from everybody except like my really close friends. I just didn't want anybody to know because I already knew. I had my mind pretty much made up on what I was going to do. So I just didn't want anybody to know. So I continued my search on Google, and I found David Radis Agency. It's in California. And I called him, and I let him know like, hey, I want to do adoption. And he was like, do you want to close adoption or do you want to open adoption? And I was like, well, I want to open adoption. Like I still wanted a relationship with her. Like I never want her to feel like I abandoned her, or anything of that sort, because that's never the case. And at that time, I had like so many doubts, like just going in and out about my decision. And it just weighed on me a lot the entire time. And so, I said an open adoption, and he was like, okay, well, I'll reach out to some families and have them put some portfolios together for you, and then you will choose, and then we'll go from there. And so I said, okay. So then he reached back out to me, and he was like, okay, so I selected 3 families. They'll put their portfolios together for you, and they'll send it to you. Give me your address, all that good stuff. And so if you know me personally, you know that I am terrified of midgets. So the first family of portfolios that I opened was a family of midgets. And I was like, yeah, no, this is not going to work. I knew my child was going to be mixed, so I kind of wanted her in like a blended family off rip. It was just better for me and better for her. And the second family portfolio that I opened was a family of 2 like movie stars or something, and they were already adopting. They already had adopted a little girl. Her name was Grace, and she was black. So I was like, okay, this might work. And my thing was, I was really big on like communication. Like I should be able to contact you, if I ever want to just randomly call, you should answer, you know, like, I just wanted to be in contact the entire time throughout my adoption process. And so, you know, I ended up like reaching out to them, and like we talked, and everybody shared their, you know, wants and stuff. And through, like, after a while, it was hard to get in contact with them, and I didn't like that because, like I said, like, communication was really big for me. Like, I wanted to be in the loop 24/7. That was something that was big on me. And so then, like, you know, in my process of making decisions, the family that I did choose, which is Ted and Fatima, they were constantly calling, constantly checking on me, you know, just very consistent, you know. And that is pretty much what made up my mind, how consistent they were with calling me, you know, like, and at that time I had gotten an accident, like, they checked on me, they, you know, they were very concerned about me and stuff like that. So I reached back out to David, and I had told him that, you know, I made a decision, and I let him know that I would be choosing Ted and Fatima. And, you know, at first, me and her kind of had like an awkward silence. We didn't know what to talk about, you know, but she's very talkative, so she kind of made it comfortable. And that is what like really grew me towards her, is like just her personality. And after I chose them, like, I had so many thoughts going through my head about them, like getting to know them and stuff like that. And it was perfect. Like, the dad is white and the mom is black, so it was just like perfect. And if you follow me like throughout my social media and stuff, you see that Tennessee looks a lot like her, and it's just weird, but it worked out, you know. And they you know, we shared words and stuff. And at that point in time, I was still going through like a lot of mixed emotions, and still having doubts, still questioning myself. It was just a lot that I had to go through and deal with alone, because I didn't, you know, like, I didn't want to tell anybody, like, not even my family. And so it was hard. Like, it was a really, really hard decision. Like, I was always crying. I was always emotional. It was just a lot of stuff going through my head at one time. And a lot of people just think or assume that they will have something like mine, which is why a lot of people will reach out and say, reach out to me about adoption. And like I said previously about not recommending it, it's not anything like personal. It's just kind of like, not everybody's situation is going to be the same. And, you know, I just happen to be blessed with them. Like, they're good people. They've done right by Tennessee, her, since, you know, for the years of her being alive. They keep me in the loop all the time. If you follow me on social media, you see how much we conversate with each other, how active we are in each other's lives. Like, not just me and Tennessee, but me and the parents as well. We've grown very close. It's hard. Emotionally, like, I have days where I just break down, and days where I think about her, and days where I just think about what it's going to be like when she's ready to talk, you know. Like, that is what really weighs on my shoulder. And she knows, like, that I love her. They always, you know, tell her. They always talk about me to her, just so she knows, you know. And it's still, even though, like, I know that she knows that I love her, it's just like, yeah, but I still had another kid after her, so what will she think? But I just wanted to like give you guys like a small video of how I got into adoption. It wasn't just something that I just like knew. I just kind of, because before, you know, stories about adoption are like back in the day are like crazy, and now I would have never thought that I would be in the situation that I'm in now. We are a blended family. Everybody has a relationship with everybody, and it just all works out. But I still, you know, up to the point of meeting them and being out there, I still had doubts at that point, like if I wasn't making the right decision. And I just wasn't sure. You know, you're never really sure until you go through it. You go through with it, or, you know. But I just wanted to give you guys like a small video of how I got to the adoption point. I will go in further about it. Like me flying out to California, things we did, you know, delivery and stuff like that, I'll do in later videos. I just wanted to post this one so that you guys can know how I got to that point. So thank you. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share, guys. Have a good one.